Hey, what is going on, everybody, and happy Kang Day, because today is Thursday, and this is the start of the He Who Remains event. Now, there was a fair bit of problems when this event first launched. Part of that is the reason why I'm doing this video. The other part is talking about how this has changed compared to the Dark Beast event and some of the Blitzing events prior. I also want to go in the second half of the video and talk about my recent poll on YouTube and on Discord about how people feel about events writ large, especially the ones that have point limits in it. And that's something that I really want to kind of hone in on in today's video. But we're going to go over some of the adjustments and changes to this Kang Blitzing, which is going to suck real hard. So if you're ready to go, let's boil this down. And before we go anywhere, I wanted to bring you guys to the orb section of the store. So at 1 p.m., approximately 2 and a bit hours ago, the Kang orb for the cores was available to pull still. But now at 3:05 p.m., it is no longer here. So I don't know, maybe it was the For All Time orb. I think it was this one here. They had pulled this at some point from the cores, and you can't do it anymore. I guess if you got luck, or if you wanted to, rather, you could have double dipped with some core spending on this orb, even though his event is ongoing right now. But otherwise, that's how you're going to get your shards, is through the blitzing, of course. And I want to talk about this. So I've done my first rotation, and I have about 2,000 Kang orb fragments. But the amount of fragments that you get, first of all, when this first launched, it was bugged in the way that you only got 0 fragments. Okay, so there's that here. I don't even know if are we back up yet? Here we are, a couple ones. So it's not good. Let me tell you this, that blitzing for Kang is not very good. I'm probably going to lose this. I'm not paying a lot of attention right now because I know I'm going to lose a few of them. That's just kind of what I do. But the fragment drops are not very good. 30 is some of the most common fragments that you'll see when you're farming for him, so keep that in mind. And I actually want to bring your attention to my Discord. There's the... I made an announcement in my Discord here on the game announcements channel. Okay, so there's a couple of them here that I wanted to kind of draw your attention to. So things were a bit effed up right at the start of the event, and they were actually giving out 0 orb fragments per blitz win. That has been adjusted, though, because Community Manager Archangel came back and said the servers came down for a little while afterwards, and they fixed this. So you will no longer get 0 orb fragments, but this was happening for the first rotation. And so these are the observed drops that I've seen so far. 0. Sorry, I'll get rid of the 0. I forgot that's not in there anymore. So 15, 25, 30, 45, 100... 250, 500, 1000, and 2000. Now let me know in the comments down below if I missed a number, but the difference is that when we had the Dark Beast event, it was a minimum drop of 25. That was the lowest, and now it's gone even lower. Now, I don't know how frequently you're getting a 15 orb fragment drop. I don't think it's super frequent, but the fact is that your average fragments that you're getting per rotation is less than what I calculated in the video, which was about 60 orb fragments per blitz win. Now, I don't think that you're going to get around that. Frankly, I would be surprised. Maybe it's around 45 to 50, given the different orb drops as well, and what I've seen. And what that means is that your expected value on shards is going to be less, possibly even 20 to 25% less than what I actually stated in my video, which sucks because, that means that you're doing the same amount of blitzing that you would have done for Dark Beast and for Hulkbuster and Agatha, but now you're getting less shards overall. We'll go visit that spreadsheet in a little bit here because I want to kind of dip into that, but yeah, it feels not very good. And the expected value of the Kang orb is exactly the same as the Dark Beast orb, pretty much. It's 2.778 for this one. I believe Dark Beast was 2.775, something like that. It's not any noticeable change. So, the fragment drops here, I'm seeing a lot of 30s. I'm seeing a lot of like 25. I'm seeing the 25 and the 30s a lot. And that just does not feel good because previous, when we did events like Agatha, for example, see another 25. We actually saw drops of a bare minimum of 50 back when Agatha was, when her event, and that was considered to be pretty bad. Oh, hey, we got super lucky. Oh my god. Thank Galactus. What happened? This because I did a video while I'm doing Blitz, but that's not usual. That's rare. Let me tell you, that's rare. I might only get that once. this entire week. But, you know, it just does not feel good. The other thing is that we don't really have those kind of average orb fragment expectations from Scopely and Balance, because they're not going to tell you, right? Of course they're not going to tell you. So, you know, it's hard to get concrete scientific, you know, data to suggest what exactly. I have to go by what people are telling me, you know, after one rotation, you know, and I just kind of collate the data and you know, kind of draw an average from there from what other people are saying, and that's the best I can really do at this point, really. And I'll finish this blitz rotation. I'm not going to sit here and blitz on the video for the entire time, but nonetheless, this is not very good. What I would recommend people doing is, especially if you haven't unlocked Kang early, don't sit on your orbs, in my opinion. You know, like try to make sure that you get Kang unlocked, you know, however that ends up being for you. Because when you do, of course, that unlocks Kang Hunt. Just want to reiterate that. There's only about 6 days left on Kang Hunt. So the quicker that you can get Kang unlocked, the quicker you can at least do hard mode. And that way you can actually farm some XP out of there. So that part of things is worth doing. So make sure you're not sitting around on your or whatever the orbs are called, Conqueror's orbs, so that you can actually get them unlocked, hopefully within the 6 days before Kang Hunt goes away, and you can get some bonus stuff from there, I guess, at that point. So the second thing that I want to talk about in this video, other than Kang Hunt, Kang Hunt, yeah, that's trash too, but the Kang event writ large is fucking trash, and the blitzing is god-awful. I want to talk about this poll that I ran on my channel. Okay, so I made a post in my Discord as well. I understand that my question was a bit confusing because I posted the same thing on Discord and on YouTube. But basically, I wanted to see how people felt about the new event structure regards to point limits. So we've had quite a few of them lately in terms of point limits. We also have one right now, by the way, for the He Who Remains. So I do want to kind of point that out there. What's really interesting is the points limits have disappeared. So I don't know if this is going to be the case, but there were previous point limits here installed for this event for Masters of Evil. Now, when the points limits were there, it was basically capped at using 4 Masters of Evil characters. Now, I have a feeling that Moonstone is going to be released in an offer between now and Sunday, and that could give you a 5th Masters of Evil to get additional points for. So if that's the case, and the limit's not actually there, then you could get a little bit additional points if you happen to have all 5 characters. That being said, if you listened to my video before, then you know that, you know, you're not going to have all of these characters free to play. I don't even have Titania unlocked yet. I haven't opened those orbs yet there. And Moonstone absolutely will not be available free to play before the end of this event. So don't be too concerned about that there. In terms of spending your power cores for this, don't even bother. There's like some trashy offers in the store for like 5 Kang shards for 600 cores. It's frankly, it's insulting, and I would not bite on those, in my opinion. Just if you want to do a bit more in this event, if you want to get the event item especially, you're just going to need to blitz. That's really how this is going to go down. But yeah, I want to kind of pivot back to the poll. And so how did people feel about this? You know, and I gave examples here of the different events that we had that had the points limit so far. So the Rising Stars, this was the agent, US agent shards kind of bonus event with Rebirth, and then we had Rage of the Past, we had Crusher of Heroes. The different limits are in the brackets here, you can see that if you want to read it. Grand Theft Quantum, Debonair Death, and of course He Who Remains. So I put this poll out like 2 days ago, and we had over 1,000 votes come in for YouTube anyways, and about 600 I think from Discord. And surprisingly, and I want to kind of go to the I made a spreadsheet on this. So do you like the new event structures with point limits? On Discord, 90 people said yes, 380 people said no, 52 said neutral, so about 17% yes, 73% no, 10% neutral, 522 votes. Now, if you remove neutral, of course, that brings the yes to 19% and no to about 81%. So quite an overwhelming amount of people don't like the point event structure. That being said, on YouTube, it was a very similar percentage. I think a little bit more people like the points limits on YouTube anyways. But, you know, if you remove the neutral statements, there was 1,041 votes. About 25% of the people said yes. 75% of the people said no. So still, despite it being slightly different, both of them overwhelmingly disagree that the points event structure is a positive thing for this game. So why did I ask this? And I asked this because I wanted to know how well people... I should have put a poll on, do people like blitzing? Because we have a blitz event going on right now. Really, that's what my next question is going to be. How much do you guys like blitzing? And this kind of pivots to what we were talking about in the He Who Remains with the blitzing, right? And so I'm going to go back and do a little bit of more blitzing. So at the end of the day, the only thing that free-to-play people can grind is blitzing. I want to make that very clear. You know, there's nothing else really in Marvel Strike Force that you can grind other than blitzing. Raids, not really grindable. You know, you could do a few extra bonus attacks if need be, but other than that, you typically can't do that, right? Hey, it's a 250 drop. That's not bad. So, War, Crucible, all of these things, all these other game modes, you can't really grind it. So the only grindable game mode is Blitz. So really the question should... fucking 15 fragment. The question really should have been, do you like blitzing? Do you like grinding blitzing? And here's the problem, right? And this is the problem with this Kang event. Is that you're grinding the same amount that you would have grinded if you were here for the Hulkbuster, the Agatha, or the Dark Beast event, except for you're getting less shards. The fragments are lower. They're getting lower each event. And so, therefore, you're doing the same amount of 8 blitz rotations for less overall shards for the character, in this case, Kang the Conqueror. So, at the end of the day, maybe people feel a little bit differently now than when they voted, but know that you are getting less rewards for the same or more amount of work that you're putting in for these events and for blitzing. And does that feel very good? I think the answer is pretty obvious. It doesn't feel very good. You know, and to really end off in this point, I kind of want to go back to the spreadsheet again. You know, the He Who Remains. So I have the math here, right? And so I had the average orb fragment down for 60. I don't think that's the case. Honestly, I don't think that's the case. I think I would probably have to finish my rotation to get a better idea. I'm like kind of halfway through. I know I've not won every single match here. I've lost a few of them. But realistically, like, I don't know. And that 2,000 might have been a little bit of an outlier because I think that was super lucky. And I guess that's not how statistics work necessarily, is that you should keep it in there. But I'm not sure if we are indeed getting 2,400 fragments per blitz rotation. I don't know, right? You know, but even if we, hypothetically, let's lower this by 25%. Let's say it's 45. Just, you know, I don't have scientific data to back this up, but just let's put it in anyways, right? And let's see what happens to the rest of the numbers. So keep in mind that at 4 rotations daily from the previous assessment, you were getting about 128 shards, 6 rotations about almost a 4-star, and then 8 rotations would give you well above a 4-star. So let's change this by down about 25% to 45 and see what happens. Now you're looking at, okay, you're still going to get a 3-star unlock at 4 rotations, but it's tight, right? 105 shards is pretty tight. 140, you're definitely not getting anywhere close to a 4-star. That's like 3.5. And then you're not even getting a 4-star for 8 rotations daily. So, unless your luck is really good. So that's the difference that 25% of a cut could potentially make. Now, is that the case? I don't know, because I don't have enough data to collect. And frankly, you know, I'll never know because we don't know what their drop rates are. They don't tell us. It's hidden. And so I can't tell you 100%. The only thing I can go on is what people have told me, you know, the kind of results that they've got. And I can kind of collect that and use that to try and come up with a, you know, a reasonable or a conservative number about the kind of shards that you can get. Right. And so that's why I wanted to cover this part of the video, because I just wanted to show you what happens if the drop rates go down. And it feels like it has. So is 4-star possible still? Maybe. Is it likely? Probably not. I have this gut feeling that this event is worse than what we initially anticipated because the drop rates are lower. And it doesn't, you know, I'm seeing a lot of 30s. And I said, yeah, okay, as I get some good luck. So it's hard to tell, right? But personally, why would they have the orb fragment drops at 15, 25, 30, if it wasn't designed to be worse? You know, otherwise they would have left it at 50, which was what they did for Hulkbuster and Agatha. It wasn't until the Dark Beast event that they lowered the Blitz fragment drops down to 25, which was very scummy. Now it's even further. Now you can get as low as a 15 drop, and that just does not feel good, right? This feels fucking terrible. And that's where I want to leave off with the video here. And I don't know what else to say. Happy blitzing, everyone. You know, hope you guys have a good time blitzing your ass off. Am I still going to do it? Probably. Am I going to like it? Probably not, but we'll find out after the end of the 7 days when I open all of my Kang orbs and I figure out how far I end up getting. So that's the end of this video. Have a great rest of the week. I'll see you guys on the blog post tomorrow afternoon. And until then, stay safe and healthy. And I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.